Hello, once again, everyone. Welcome once again to another live streaming. Happy Sunday to all of you all over the world. Today, I'm going to show you one simple thing how you can make a bearnaise in your kitchen with a very simple technique. And today, I'm using, of course, the tarragon vinegar I made the last time in the live streaming. I don't know if you saw the live streaming, or if you have not seen it, you can go back to my channel to look for it, and you will see how I made this from scratch. So this is one of the previous I made before the last. This has been since 1 month I made this one. So it has now an intense flavor because it has rested, and it has also induced in the vinegar. So it's ready to use as the basic for my bearnaise sauce. So of course I will start my bearnaise by using a clarified butter. And what is that clarified butter? I am just going to allow the butter. I'm using here just ordinary butter. You can also buy clarified butter in the shop, but I am making the clarified butter myself, because why should you pay for more if you can make it yourself? Because it costs very little. It costs almost half of the price more. A kilo of butter is about 10-11 euros here in Belgium. And if you are buying a clarified butter, you are paying about almost 110%. So I don't know why you should pay more if you can make it. It's a very, very simple technique. So let me start by showing you how I make the clarified butter. So I just drop the butter in the pan. So if your pan is too small, now my pan is too small, so maybe it's better I use a bigger pan. So now I'm going to use a bigger pan for this demonstration. So now I set my pan already on the stove. You should set the stove on a medium heat, a very low to medium heat. It should not be high, because when it's high, your butter will start burning, because butter is normally not made to go higher than 60 degrees. When it goes higher than 60 degrees, because of the lactose in the butter, that is the milk content, it will start burning, and you have that black spot in your butter, and you want to prevent that, because you want your butter to be so bright and clear possible. So I will start by switching on my stove and putting it to the minimum. So I will start with 400, but I will see how it goes, because normally I used to do it on the gas stove, but I find this position more easy to show or to demonstrate what I want to show in this episode. So then I drop in the butter into my pan here. So I just allow it to melt. So it should not be on a high temperature, because if it goes higher than 60 degrees, your butter will start burning and you have that black spot in your butter. And that is what you want to prevent. In making bearnaise sauce, the butter should be just a clarified butter. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome again once again to this live streaming. And my aim here is to share with you our love, our passion for food, and our knowledge about French Belgian cuisine. I hope you are learning something new today. We come here every day with new easy recipe and easy tricks what you can implement in the comfort of your own home, and you can learn more about our French Belgian cuisine. Thank you once again for coming on the live streaming. Happy Sunday, everyone, once again. So you see the butter has started melting. You see the butter is melting now, very, very slightly. So I cannot lift it up because it will start making noise because it's induction uh, fire or stove. So it's just you just allow it to melt at a very slow pace that it doesn't start burning. You really, really have to prevent burning. That is what they show here. That is what it is all about. So you can sometimes even stir it to give it a quick melting, make it to melt quickly. So you will see when the butter has, when you will know later if you need more, if you need to add more heat to the butter or not. But if you don't need to add more heat, you just allow it to melt at its pace, and then you can begin to split the butter, removing the real butter and leaving. This process is splitting the real butter from the milk. That is what this process is all about. You will see it later. You see that the milk, it will be left behind at the bottom of the pan after the butter has finished melting and the butter has separated. So I will use a spoon to scoop out the butter, and then we call that clarified butter because it is then 100% butter. Okay, for those of you who don't know, it is also very important if you can do this if you have lactose intolerance, if you are lactose allergy. So it is very easy to, you say some people, most of the people say, I don't eat butter. Why don't you eat butter? It is because of the milk content in the butter, which makes the butter lactose intolerant. So when you separate the butter and make it 100% butter, then it is lactose free. You can then eat that butter without having, of course, any problem of allergy. So if you have somebody, brother, sister, or even your neighbor who is lactose intolerant, you can also share this video with the person so that the person will also have an idea how to make his or her own butter at home. So you see, it's like melting, just melting. So maybe I just give it a bit still high, a little bit higher. I will see if it needs to be slow or needs to be low. I will put it lower again, but at the moment, I think that it needs a little bit of heat. Thank you everyone for tuning once again to our channel. I am Chef Viviane. I am here to share with you my love and my knowledge about French Belgian cuisine. You know, we only learn by doing. So if you are that type who is afraid to go into the kitchen to try something new, I will just, advise you to just start trying, because it is only by trying and by doing that we learn. So hope you are learning something new in this episode. So my aim here is also to share with you basic recipes that you can try at home for yourself instead of buying all those expensive sauce or expensive things in the shop that are also filled with preservatives, are also filled with ingredients that are not supposed to be in your food. So this is a slow process. You don't want to force it. You don't want to, you don't want to rush it. It is a very slow system, because when you force it, what will happen? Your butter will start burning, and that is what you don't want. Normally I just place this on the stove. I just place it on a low stove and I forget it and just go and do something else, because it's a really slow process. You don't want to force it. So normally it's because I'm showing this to you guys. That is why I'm standing here before the butter to keep stirring till the butter melts. But normally I just forget it on the stove on the low heat, and I come back later and it's ready. So you just keep testing. I s- I made a little bit. I increase the heat a bit now again, because why? The butter has started flowing inside the liquid of the butter. So that is why I increase it, because now you cannot separate the butter, because the butter is still too cold. The milk is together now with the butter. So I really want to split this. So that is to say that the milk should go under, and the butter should come up. Now you can see the milk flowing on top of the butter. So that is why I increase the heat, because it needs more heat to separate. So it's something that you just have to test according to your heat, according to your stove. You just have to test it. So you start very slow with slow heat, and you gradually increase the heat. So we just allow it now to melt and then splits. When it's warm and it starts splitting, I see it gradually now beginning to split. So then we will start scraping. You see now, it has not split yet. You just see the milk and the butter together. You see the butter have not melted. There is still butter for under. So we just allow it to melt gradually, and then we can start scooping out the butter. The milk started coming up a bit. Hey everyone, welcome once again. I hope you are enjoy watching this episode, and I hope you are learning something here also. And if you find this video useful, please give us a like, or also go to our channel and watch our other videos. We have various videos of interest about cooking. It depends on what you are looking for, from the sets. From, we are just showing entirely here what we do here in our kitchen, because we have a small restaurant where we share delicious food recipes with everyone out there. So if you can search, if you are searching for appetizers, for starter meal, for main course, or even desserts, you are covered in our channel. So just take a look and make sure also to share with your friends and family, or to whom it may be useful. Thank you. So you see the milk starts separating. We are almost getting there. It has not been there, it's not ready yet, but we are getting there. But if you are doing it for the first time, you have to be there to control the heat. But if you are not doing it for the first, most of the time I just place it on the stove on a very low heat. I just leave it there and I go to do other things. But if you are doing it for the first time, make sure you stick around to control the temperature. So now it has almost melted. So I'm going to split now the milk from the butter by increasing the heat a bit, and it will just start the splitting process now. You see the milk is coming up. You can see the foam of the milk. You can see it. You see the foam? That is the butter. That is butter. That is the milk, I mean. You can start scoping at this stage. Let me check if the butter is melted. Yes. Okay, now I will load the heat again. Then I will start removing. You have to be careful. Just go a little bit on top. It's a special technique. You just go a little bit on top. Where you are just sieving it this way, you just be removing the foam without removing the butter. You see that it starts splitting. You just have to be careful so that you don't remove your butter along with the foam. So you just try to scoop it from on top to remove first. That is the milk. That is the lactose. You see now it's splitting. That is how we make clarified butter. It's not so difficult. It's because I'm showing you this from scratch But if you are doing it at home, you just you put it on a low heat and you just allow it to do its work. And you come back later to do the separation after it has finished separated. So it keeps pushing the milk foam to the top of the butter. And you see the butter keep is getting more clarified. So at this stage, you can also lower your heat again. You see, you can then stir and see how many milk is in the butter. So when you stir it like that again, what happens? The milk flow to the top of the butter. And you try to scrape it again or scoop it using your louche or using a louche. You see that the butter is getting clearer and clearer. And then you stir it once again. If you have this, you can also use to wipe the corner of your pan to remove every milk that is sticking at the corner of your pan. And then you stir it again. Then the milk will move to the top again. So they are still, so you keep doing this process, you repeat this process until every milk is removed from the butter. See, we're almost there. We are almost there. You see, the butter is almost now clarified. It's almost 100% butter now. But we still have to give it that final stir to remove every milk. Of course, we cannot remove 100% of the milk, but we are very sure of removing at least 95% of the milk. So then you lost at least 50 to 60 grams of the total weight of your butter. So maybe at the end of the day, I started with a kilo of butter. I may end up having 900 grams of butter, but it's okay. It is more cheaper than buying a G in the shop, because even the G you buy in the shop, they add some ingredient also in the G that should not be there. So look at that. So at this point, the butter is almost clean. So what you can do again is just to remove the butter and to transfer the butter into a container, or I use here a bottle. I will show you. So look at what I remove from the butter to make it to clarify the butter. Look at how many milk I remove from the butter. So I'm going to put that aside. And now I'm going to transfer my ghee butter into this container. So first of all, I'm going to wash maybe just a little bit. Let's remove the foam first. Then I will remove. You see that the butter is still very white or very clear. It's not dark, because if you put it on too much heat, if the heat is too much, this will become brown, and there will be a lot of black spots inside the butter. So that is why it is very important that you place it on a low heat. So I'm going first to clean my louche. I will be back. I will be back. Okay, now the butter has been splitted. That is what we call clarified butter. Look at it. Look how it will look. Your butter should look this way. So that is what we call clarified butter. You see how it looks? Look at that. You should be able to see through the butter. There should be no clotting of or no darken. So the color should be like this. So you see there is some residue of milk. So I have to set it out. So you see some milk under. You can just scrape it a little bit. And we cannot remove it 100%. But you see that we are almost close to 100%, maybe 95%. Wait. Remove it just a bit. And if you don't have problem of lactose, you can use the milk in your mashed potato. You don't need to throw it away. You can add it to your mashed potatoes and you can use it for cooking. You don't need to throw it away. But if you have allergy of milk, then you have to throw it away and just use your plain clarified butter. So you see that the milk is still remaining on top, and even later I can still remove the rest. If the butter is cooled down a bit, I can still remove the rest of the milk because it's flowing on top. It can never go under the clarified butter again. It stays above the butter. So now you can see it, you just drop it till you see, then you stop. Look at that. You stop. That is the milk. So you can see now that the butter is clear. So the only thing, you can wait a bit and then you can still remove the rest of the foam, the milk foam on top. But we are not going to do that now. So now I'm going to show you the next, how to make the bearnaise. So now I'm going to make the bearnaise using the tarragon vinegar. So I'm using, for making this, I'm using 1 tablespoon of tarragon vinegar and 1 egg yolk. So I will start, of course, by splitting the eggs. So now the eggs has been splitted. No, we have to keep cleaning always. As a chef, you are also a cleaner. So it's just it. It's just the way. So this is the 4 eggs yolk. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons, but I'm going to use doesn't really matter, but doesn't really matter because it's tarragon. So I'm going to use 4 spoons. Then I have here cayenne pepper. So it depends also on how hot you want your sauce, but what I just did is okay. Then I add a bit of salt. You can always test later to see if it's enough. Then you lose it. So now I know there is a lot of film out there. There's a lot of ways of making bearnaise or making a Hollandaise or so, but I am a chef and I've always make it this way and it's always perfect. So I don't use double cooking method like double steaming method. You call it bain marie. I don't do it because I can make a perfect bearnaise or perfect Hollandaise or whatever without using the double steaming method. So what I do is just keep whisking on a very low heat to medium heat till you have the consistency you are looking for and you start adding the clarified butter. So I always place also a cloth so that when it's ready, I transfer it to here before I start adding gradually the clarified butter. So I will switch on my stove once again, but you have to put it on a low heat as I said. So I will start with 600. I will know immediately if it's enough or not. But you have to keep whisking. You don't need to leave. You don't have to go anywhere. You just keep whisking. Because if you leave here, your sauce will become an omelette. So make sure you are whisking it this way, and once in a while you go around. So that is the only way where you will not, your sauce will not be burnt or stick. So you just whisk it this way and you go around once more. So you see, and if you find out that it's too warm, you lift up your pan a bit and you bring it down again. So now I see that it's getting very warm quickly. I will just reduce my heat to lower. Here I'm using an inducti. I'm just setting it on 400 now. You see that it starts getting thicker without having any clumps or without having any lumps. Look at it. You see the consistency is getting thicker but without having any lumps. So it's not ready yet. So I will keep whisking. It's almost there. You whisk like this and you go around your pan. You do it this way. You see, you whisk like this and you go around your pan once to prevent sticking anywhere. So that is how you can make a bearnaise sauce without double steaming method, and it will be okay. You see, there is no lumps. So you just keep whisking this way and then you go around. So it takes very few time to do it directly. Okay, now it's ready. You can see that it's ready now. So what I do is setting it apart here on a cloth like this, or a cooking towel is also okay. So that is to say that your sauce is around, let me say, maximum 560 to 70 degrees, not more. Otherwise, your egg will become a scrambled egg. So I will start adding the butter, the clarified butter, gradually. Not too fast, otherwise the sauce will split. You see that it's thickening. You see that the sauce there's a beautiful consistency. from the bearnaise sauce. So you start just adding the butter very slowly and whisking. So you just keep adding butter. Normally it's 50 grams of butter for one egg yolk, but you can sometimes even make it less. Sometimes I use 150 grams of butter, but you can use the normal basic recipe is 50 grams of butter for one egg yolk and one tablespoon of vinegar. Look at, you see how thick it is now. So I think it's okay now. So now you have look at the beautiful consistency of the bearnaise sauce. Just using your hand, no double steaming method, no bain-marie, just direct on your stove. Look at it. So I will then add a bit of parsley, diced parsley or chopped parsley to give it color. There's already tarragon in the sauce, but now I still have some tarragon here. I don't have fresh tarragon at the moment. You can use fresh tarragon, but you can also use dry tarragon. I have here some dry tarragon. So I added it. I add now some dry tarragon. You see that the color is beautiful and your sauce is already, wow, the bearnaise sauce, the consistency, what you are looking for. If you like more, I like more herbs in my sauce, so I add some more. So now I'm going to plate my steak. So as always, cleaning. So you look at it, you see how beautiful, perfect the bearnaise sauce is. Look at that. You see? It's colorful, beautiful. Okay, I will also test for flavor. So I will also test for flavor. It's just delicious, perfect. There's nothing to add to it. Beautiful taste, beautiful sourness. Oh, just okay. So let me bring plate and show you how. I have here a piece of steak. Let me flatten it so that I can slice the steak. So, look at the beautiful sauce here. I'm just going to scoop the sauce. Oh, sorry, messed up. Let me bring my just as usual, it can happen in the kitchen. It's not perfect here either. And remove. You can dish so much if you like bearnaise sauce. If you like it so a lot like me, you can add more. But I also like my steak cooked this way. And now, just look at that. I'm sure everyone will be, mouth will be watering now to say, look at that. So now, I just place, just to give some contrast to my beef. You don't have to. Then if you want, you can also add a touch of parsley. Okay, let me present to you my steak bearnaise, bake, cook à point to my taste, the way I like to eat steak. Here, homemade bearnaise, made from scratch, made from induced tarragon in vinegar for at least 3 to 1 month, and then use 1 spoon of vinegar per 1 egg yolk and 50 grams of clarified butter. As I showed you in the beginning of the video, how to clarify your butter to make the perfect bearnaise. I hope you enjoy something in this episode. Look at that. How creamy and the more beautiful consistency that you have for this bearnaise. You can eat it directly on in about 60-65 degrees, or otherwise you can warm it up very slightly later using a double steam method, because you cannot warm it directly on the stove again because it will split. So the only method you can use is double steam method to warm it up to about 60 to 65 degrees before serving. I hope you learned something new in this episode. Chef Viviane here once again. My aim here is to share my love, my passion, and my knowledge about food and French Belgian cuisine, of course, with you. No one is born with knowledge. We all learn by doing. And I hope to present to you once again my steak bearnaise. Hope you enjoy something and learn something new. Share with your friends and family or to whom it may be useful. Check out our other videos to see what we do on our channel. We are just here to share our love and to show you how we make food here in our little kitchen from our little city of Kuurne in the province of West-Flemish in Belgium. Cheers, Viviane. Bye, everyone. See you in next episode of our live streaming. Bye bye. Bye.